Good morning, everyone. Welcome back for another new vehicle video. I've made it to the first Strv 103, at least the first one that you can not directly buy as a premium. It is the Strv 103A. It's a 7.7 main battle tank. For War Thunder's purposes, it's a medium tank, but doctrinally it's a main battle tank. So, let's take a look at the modifications. Stock, you get APDS, you can upgrade to better APDS, and you can also unlock a smoke shell and a Hesh round. So, the best APDS is a tier 4 modification, Hesh comes in the second tier. You've only got 2 modifications in the first tier, so it's nice that parts are a bit cheaper than the other one, because otherwise these would both be quite expensive because there are only 2 of them. So the cost is divided. The tier cost is always set, and then it's divided between the number of modifications that there are per battle rating and rank of vehicle. So the less you have, the more expensive they individually are going to be. So in this case, it's nice that parts are automatically a little cheaper because of the whole parts and FPE fiasco. But adjustment of fire might be useful. Hesh may also be useful because you're only going to have the APDS round to start with, and an HE round, and the HE round, while useful against soft-skin targets, isn't quite as useful as Hesh would be. So, Hesh does have slightly improved performance in destroying vehicles over HE. So, Hesh is still going to have some value for you, I think, in the STRV line, although it's going to be a little trickier to use, I think, and I'm primarily going to use the APDS rounds with this thing as long as I use it. It does get a laser rangefinder. It gets green night vision. So no thermals, but it's a early modification or an early iteration of the STRV 103, so that's not entirely surprising. It does get smoke dischargers and a smoke shell, so that's nice for offensive and defensive purposes. And then the usual bevy of mobility upgrades over there. You do have a 7.62 machine gun. Let's take a look at the X-ray and the armor protection. Armor is actually halfway decent on this thing because of the extreme angles that you get. So there are a few vehicles that are going to have some trouble with this thing firing directly at it. Now, it does have some rather interesting hydropneumatic type suspension ability where you can put this dozer blade all the way down to the ground, or you can crank the butt of the thing all the way down to the ground as well. So we'll mess around with that a little bit, and it makes those up and down seesaw changes very quickly. I was test driving a little bit just to verify that I had hull aiming all set up properly and everything, which I'll do a quick test drive at the end of this discussion just to show hull aiming and the buttons that you'll need and so on, just to make sure that before you guys drive one of these for the first time, you've got yourself set up and you don't have trouble with your first battle. But getting back to this, we've got 51 degrees a second on the turret rotation speed, which is, of course, the hull rotation with hull aiming. Reload rate of 4 seconds is pretty darn good. Maximum speed of 31 miles per hour isn't too bad either. And you've got the 105 L74 cannon. The interesting thing about the STRVs is there is no recoil system. The entire gun fires. I mean, the gun fires and the entire vehicle absorbs the recoil is what I meant. Not entire gun fires, but the entire vehicle is the gun recoil system, essentially. So the whole thing takes up the force of the gun recoil. Alright, let's go to the X-ray. So you can see we've got the 3 crew members here. We've got the driver, the commander, and the loader. And at least on some STRV 103s, I'm not entirely sure if it's different by the individual models of it or not. But I know on most of them, or at least some of them, everyone could take control of the vehicle to drive it or fire it. And I'm not sure if the loader can. I don't know if the loader on this one has got like a console that he could actually drive and fire the gun from back here, or if he would have to actually take over one of the crew positions to do it. I'm not entirely sure. I know that on this one it should be that the driver and the commander are both able to either drive or fire the gun from their positions. I'm not 100% sure on which vehicle it is that everyone could do it, but anyway, I know that you should be able to switch between your driver and your commander for both driving and gunning. So I hope that's implemented in the game somehow. I actually haven't really paid that much attention to other people's STRV 103 videos yet because I hadn't gotten to one myself. So we've got a pair of hull machine guns down here, which are not precisely coax because they're not... I mean, they are. They're hull machine guns, and the thing aims with its hull. So effectively, yes, they're coax machine guns, although I guess by the traditional definition, they're not right along the axis of the gun with the gun. But it doesn't have a turret, so therefore they functionally are, but technically are not coaxial machine guns. So the engine on this one, I don't know if this is two engines working together into a common transmission, or if this is just the way that the engine worked, is it split off to the side like this. I'm not an engine expert. It looks to me like it's two separate engines tied together and feeding into the same transmission, but I could be wrong. I don't actually know. Here's the transmission up here, and a little more fuel in the front, and then some fuel tanks on the sides. So we've got the ammo back here in two different storage compartments, and if you look at the breech, it's got automatic loading, which is to be expected with a reload rate of 4 seconds. That's generally going to be automatic loading. No, most loaders are not going to pull 4 seconds, and they're certainly not going to sustain it, even with 105 mil ammo. So you got 50 rounds of ammunition. I'm probably going to bring it all, because you're not going to get rid of an entire rack, I bet. And even if you do, the odds of you getting... You're probably going to lose your crew or get set on fire before you're going to get hit in all your ammo. If someone shoots you in the side and hits you in the ammo, then it's their choice of whether they want to hit your crew compartment or hit you in your ammo. So really, whether or not you've got one rack empty and the other rack right next to it, someone shoots you in the side, they're going to hit the ammo regardless, so I'm probably just going to bring it all. So, what else here? I think that pretty much covers everything for the X-ray. Oh, radio, okay. Yeah, I believe that covers everything. Let's take it into a quick test drive. We'll look at the camouflages quick, and then we'll take it in a test drive just to make sure everybody... You can all make sure when you get this thing that you've got your controls set right and you understand how the hull aiming works if you've never seen this or experienced it. So customizations... less camouflages than you'd expect for Sweden, but desert camo for all those Swedish deserts. Quadricolor deforming, it's a pretty good color. Tricolor winter, that's a nice camo. And unicolor winter. Let's see, let's just make sure. This one's 200 golden eagles. Tricolor winter deforming is 700 kills. Quadricolor deforming is 910 kills. And desert late is 490 kills. So we'll be sticking with the standard camo, mostly. Alright, so the Strv 103A, let's take it into a test drive and make sure that everybody gets hull aiming and how to activate hull aiming. Alright, so first off, I have a button set and my hull aiming is activated, as you can see down there. You've got the APDS, then the HE, then the hull aiming button, then the tow hook. So I'm using the tilde key because I also use that for my stabilizer on-off button. And since this obviously doesn't have a stabilizer because essentially the entire vehicle is a stabilizer, there's no overlap in the buttons. So what you want to do is go to your controls, type hull in the search, and there's your hull aiming mode. So you'll want to make sure you've got a button set for that. So just double click, set your button, and you're good. And just try to make sure that if it overlaps with something, it's not overlapping with something that's going to interfere with some other vehicle. So in my case, the hull aiming mode and the stabilizer are never predictably going to overlap on any vehicle, so I can use the same button for those two things, and then it just interchanges between whatever vehicle I'm using. Okay, so hull aiming mode is off, hull aiming mode is on. The darker icon indicates hull aiming mode is activated. I was thinking to myself at first that I wish they'd used colors for it, but this works well for colorblind or reduced color visibility people, so this actually works fine. You just have to remember which one it is. That's on, that's off. And an easy way to check, if you're ever confused, start driving, turn your mouse over to the side, and if you've got hull aiming turned on, your vehicle will follow your mouse. My hull aiming is not turned on, but when I turn it on, watch what the vehicle does. Whoop! Immediately gonna whip over as hard as it can and try to line up with my gun reticle. So there you go. Turn it off and you can drive around and look around you without actually steering your vehicle. You can also move a little bit faster with hull aiming turned off, although it's not an entirely fast vehicle to begin with. And this is completely stock, of course. The other thing is you can essentially aim the tank without using hull aiming, but then you've got to use your WASD keys, and it's not impossible, but it isn't very easy. So you could do it for fast shots, but you really want to have your hull aiming turned on. In which case, there we go. It went right up to the aim point. Now, it's a little slow. It's supposed to be 51 degrees a second. But as you can see, that's not exactly 51 degrees a second right there. That is certainly not 51 degrees per second on the hull aiming. It does get to where you've got it pointed, but it does it very slowly with the fine adjustments. It does work pretty well. This is the first time I'm really messing around with hull aiming, besides trying it on a test server for, I think, when these vehicles came out for 1.97. So, I don't know how bad it's been during the live update of 1.97. I don't know if this is better or worse or unchanged, but it seems okay to me so far. It's a little bit agonizing waiting for that reticle to get over to where you've got it on a fine aim and then wait for it to actually settle there, but I think it's okay. And the APDS ammo, thank God, actually does do things again. So it doesn't seem like 51 degrees a second to me right there. It seems more like if you turn it off and then hull turn. That seems a bit faster to me. Doing the actual just WASD hull turning, then turning it with your aim, but it does get the gun there on the fine adjustments that you want, so that you can actually hit your target. That was not a shot I expected to hit. That's funny. Alright, one last thing. I just want to do this in the test drive just because it's easier than trying to do it in an actual battle. All my friends do the low rider. I just thought that was funny. It does do a hull down and hull up with whatever you've got your hydro pneumatic suspension buttons set to, and you can actually do it while you're driving, which is interesting. So you could presumably use it to drive around aimed upwards to fire at helicopters and airplanes and such, or just tilt it upwards to fire at helicopters and airplanes. But good luck killing helicopters and airplanes with this thing. It's going to be a challenge, that's for sure. All right, let's take this thing into some battles. Okay, for the first battle, we're sticking with half ammo just to see what it does for the X-ray, and it empties out the right side ammo storage. So you could bring 26 rounds if you wanted to just have one full ammo storage rack. But I think, honestly, if anybody knows and cares and wants to try and shoot you in the ammo, if they shoot you in either side, they're going to hit either ammo rack regardless. And if they somehow get behind you and don't just shoot right through the middle and kill everybody, they're going to shoot you on the left-hand side where both your driver and your loader are, and your first ammo rack. So they're going to kill you no matter what. So I don't know if it's worth cutting your ammo down. I suppose it is. It might lessen your chances of being killed by artillery shrapnel. But other than that, I don't really know if there's any particular value to bringing less than a full ammo load. The sense of overwhelming speed is not exactly there. Not exactly. Target in sight. More targets in sight. Yeah, hit my gun. He hit my gun directly. Of course he did. Of course he hit my gun. Please move forward. Come on, please just repair. Okay. Oh, God. I don't know where that came from. Oh. Probably from the guy that's on the hill behind us. Why are you like this? Why are you like this, vehicle? Why wouldn't you just aim? Alright, well, we won. And the capture will have helped my RP, and I did get an assist on that leopard, I'm pretty sure. But first, let's see what the crate had to offer. Well, not a talisman, apparently. Backups are okay. It's just funny to see 3 talismans go by. Like, oh, what a tease. Yes, we did get an assist on that leopard, so that's good. So we pulled off about a little more than a quarter, not quite a third, of my RP for parts. So, okay, next battle coming up. All right, we'll stick with 26 rounds of ammo, just on the off chance that I have some sort of artillery strike near the right-hand side of my tank that would otherwise kill me with shrapnel into the ammo racks, and we'll just stick with that. I don't think that's a likely occurrence, but that's the thinking anyway. Alright, got another capture. Definitely gonna hide out in the trees on this one. With the hull down ability. Absolutely. Yeah, that struggle shimmy to get the gun where you want it to is something. That'll work. That'll work. Oh boy. Well, that's a big hit from the side. We're done. We're on fire. Get him, IS-3. Marvin somewhere over here. Alright. See if we can get a good spot for camping and defending the Bravo point with this thing. I think we might be able to park it right up here. We'll see. We'll see if we can get a view on the Bravo point, or yeah, on the Bravo point or not from there. Sunlight might be against us. We've got a bit of a limited view right here, but if anything comes through there, we should have a pretty good shot at it. Oh, that's a hostile.
Attention to the designated grid square.
Over there somewhere. Okay, there we go. He's right down here.
Attention to the designated grid square.
Okie dokie. Okay, gun. What the hell was that? Nice. Gun totally blew my shot on him. That's amazing. I don't know what happened there. He's on fire, though. Come on, gun, settle before he notices. Well, we got him, and we're dead. Lost the engine, and the IS-3 is going to kill us. Now I see... Ooh! I see the frustration people have with this thing in the hull aiming, because that took entirely too long to settle on both the Centurion and on the P-54 there. Come on. Just need to get into the cap. Alright, I played that one super cautiously and just stayed back and defended. My team captured, and I just hung back by our point just to make sure no enemies snuck in at the last second. I had a pretty good hiding spot, which was good. I also figured out that for my controls setup anyways, my right-click mouse button wasn't doing anything for my Strv 103A, so I've switched my hull aiming to right-click mouse rather than a button that I have to hit on the keyboard and risk hitting the wrong button and changing up my ammo because it's right next to the number 1 key. So instead, I'm going to use that because it doesn't do anything and it's much faster for me to activate and deactivate, and I can do it just by not even looking. So moving forward, it'll be right mouse button for my hull aiming mode, and I think that'll be much more usable. Let's see how much we got left over. 158 for FPE. On to FPE we go. Okay. I don't know where they got hit from. Well, they do now. I think we'll be leaving. Alright, well, T-54 is down. There's a Sherman back there. Yeah, right mouse button, definitely an improvement for me. Well, he's out. Okay, never mind. Oh, there's another one coming. Got another one coming down there. There he is. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, Leopard. It's not the fastest response vehicle to quickly aiming at somebody, unfortunately. Well, you could cliff dive from right here. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could off those boxes. I'm not saying it's a good idea. Oh boy. Not great, not great. Give me the gun, give me the gun, give me the gun. That could have been worse. Still could be if that plane finds me. Not, ooh. They just artilleried the gas truck that was next to me. Team artilleried him. Not gonna lie, I find that humorous. There's one. God bless the reload speed. That's cool. So is that. Why did that take so long to raise up? Alright, Ordinarily, I try to go for Alpha on this map. I don't think this thing is fast enough to go the way that I prefer to go over there, so we're going to try the end run around Charlie. Get out of here. Good hit on the 901. They're going to know where it came from, which is alright. Okay, they know. That could have been worse. Oh, this is painful. Oh god. I like the ricochet off of him too. Okay. M50 over here. We can get on him. Okay. 551 is still an issue out there, wherever he is. Got his breach. Try to hit his engine. Or just kill him, that works too. Well, that sucks. I don't think we can't aim with the engine out, can we? That's a little unfortunate. Here's the weakness of the thing. Oh, we're on fire. Well, now that's unfortunate, because now we can't finish. We can't repair the... We can't get our hull aim back because we're on fire. That's mighty unfortunate, isn't it? Oh well. We can still function with one crew member, though. So that's cool. We've got FPE. So there's that. The rest of it, though, this could be ugly. Those eyes are hilariously placed. I don't know what it is. This thing feels like it is really laboring with its driving. Cool. Come on, gun! Seriously! That is unforgivable. For something to supposedly have 51 degrees of rotation, that's unforgivable that it took that long for the thing to rotate. I'm not sure that he knows I'm here, or he backed off to be safe for me and fired a missile at that guy, but... We'll wait here and see if he pulls back out again. No, he's dead. We got a missile-y boy over here. Oh, come on! It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. What in the actual hell, man? Seriously, what in the actual... Nice. He's got no gun breach. Gun barrel. There we go. Should be right up here, I think. Cannon barrel, come on. Turn. Turn, you're supposed to do 50 degrees a second, come on. This is insane. Come on. Woo! This thing is nuts. Good gracious. I don't know whether to love this thing or hate it right now. Lucky on the one hand, that was a German fighter. And lucky on the other hand, that was a German fighter without a bomb. Now, one thing I know I could do with this would be put this all the way like this and drive up these stairs. That'd be pretty funny, but it still doesn't actually work all the way. Yeah, it's just not fast enough. Oh well. Yeah, that battle went okay. Yes, I know we had victory. I played it to the end. Alright, well, we got our Hesh unlocked. I was going to quit there, but I think we'll try to get at least one battle in with Hesh. If not, then closing thoughts will be coming up next. It all kind of depends on how long this video has been so far. Okay. Heshed up and ready to dance. I don't know why they start default with the hull aim on. It doesn't... That seems like if you had to think about it, you would say, nah, people can turn it on if they need it. You're almost always going to drive before you're going to fire. Somebody's in on Charlie right there. Steady, gun, steady. That was a good hit. Alright, Hesh, right here. There we go. Did you just hit me trying to steal my kill? Is that what just happened there? You shot me while you were trying to shoot my M47 hiding behind me. That's what happened, isn't it? Go, nice. Anybody up in the sniper nest? Oh, where's my backup? What are you doing, man? This dude is just sitting.
Repairing. Attention to the map. Need backup. Need cover.
This dude is just chilling here.
Attention to the map.
He just sat there! Alright, well, that'll be that then. See if we... Yeah, almost. Not quite. Almost. Alright. Closing thoughts for the Strv 103A coming up. Video has already run long enough. Alright, everybody. Closing thoughts for the Strv 103A. The turret rotation speed, which is now 56.4 degrees a second after a couple of upgrades, is not even remotely close to turning that fast when you're in hull aiming. And honestly, when you're not in hull aim, when you're just in regular driving, it doesn't feel like it neutral steers that quickly. So I don't know. I don't know. The vertical is -10 to 12 degrees plus. I assume that's with the obviously with the suspension full up and full down. The max speed says it's 31 miles per hour, but it sure does not feel like it's ever got a chance of getting close to that speed. Like, I was having trouble breaking 20 in most battles, so that's a bit of a thing. Repair cost, I forgot to check it as stock, unfortunately, but with just a couple of modifications here, with just parts, FPE, and hash right now, we're up to 9,577. So that's a lot for a 7.7 vehicle that's only got 3 modifications on it. The other thing that I forgot to check that I want to make sure I cover right now is the difference in shell penetrations for the stock APDS round and the upgraded APDS round. So there you can see 303 down to 252 at 0 degrees and 116 down to 96 at 60 degrees. And then for the upgrade, it's 260 down to 222, better at long distance, and 144 to 123, better, worse at close distance and better at long distance on the 0 degrees, but it's better in all cases at the 60 degree pens. So much better for 60 degree angle pen, which you're pretty much mostly going to see everywhere. And if you hit a zero degree penetration shot and you're firing from more than 2,000 meters, I guess it'll be an issue. But for the most part, the upgraded APDS is going to be better. As far as hash, it's your standard 105 millimeter hash with 127 down to 63 at 60 degrees. That's standard 105 across all British and American and all hash rounds. Okay. Got guided a little bit on the filters there, but that's okay. We'll get those in the next battle here. Alright, that covers it for the Strv 103A. So I did read up about it a little bit after I did the intro. I should have done it before the intro, but the driver's over here. The loader behind him is not so much the loader as he is the third crew member, because they tried to do this with just 2 crew members, but they found out that a third crew member is useful for things like digging the tank in and doing routine maintenance and reloading the tank, and if one of the guys is an officer, that only leaves one person behind to do maintenance on the tank, etc., etc. So the third crew member is not so much a loader as he is a backup. And I mean literally the backing up driver. He has a set of controls that he can drive the tank backwards at full speed, so you keep your good armor pointed at the enemy. And then, of course, he's also a third crew member that could take over if someone were to be injured or whatever. But that's why. And you can see there's 3 tools for everything here, so each guy gets something to work with if they dig in. Also, at the beginning of the video, I said this was a dozer blade at the front. It's not. The dozer blade actually gets put on the bottom of this and swings downward. That is just the frontal joint of the upper and lower front plate to be angled. It's not so much a dozer blade as it is just armor penetration nose, I guess. So I look forward to seeing how many people comment on that, because I called that a dozer blade at the beginning and didn't correct it till the very end. And we'll see how many people actually watched all the way through to the video. So that'll be fun to count. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Looking forward to the better STRV 103s that start getting APF SDS rounds, and hopefully a little bit better hull aim, because it's got its pluses, but it certainly has its drawbacks. Hull aim is a little bit annoying in some cases, but there you have it, the STRV 103A. Thank you all very much for watching. We'll see you next time. Be safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.